Welcome to Mind the Business Radio, the radio show that helps you grow your business. And now, here's Suzanne, Darwin, and Ernie.
Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Mind the Business. I'm Suzanne Strong.
I'm Darwin, and Ernie couldn't be with us today because there was a passing in the family, so he's dealing with that. And
we wish him well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But today our guest is a lady we had on the show before, and it was the best show we ever had.
Yeah.
I had the most fun. We're going to talk today to Renee Piane, who is the award-winning international love designer. Yes, I said love designer, so she can help you with your relationships, probably with what you should wear on Valentine's Day, and all kinds of fun and interesting things about how to tune up your love life. She's the author of Get Real About Love, and she's an internationally recognized relationship reinvention expert. Boy, that's hard to say, but somebody out there is going to need to have their relationship reinvented, Renee. She's also a role model and mentor for people who are looking for love, like that song says, healing a broken heart, or wanting to reignite the fire and passion in their existing relationships. She's a TV celebrity, radio host, and the author of Love Mechanics and Get Real About Love, The Secrets of Opening Your Heart and Finding True Love. Renee, thanks for coming on the show today. We're glad to have you back, and let's talk about love because, hey, Valentine's Day is right around the corner.
Yes,
it's perfect timing.
It's perfect timing. Uh-huh.
And this is the year where most
of love, and as soon as February hits, all the people that broke up with whoever they were dating at Christmas that didn't buy them a gift are all calling me, going, "What do I do now?" It's really amazing because January hits and we make our intentions, but then when you see all the love commercials, it kind of hits people right between the heart. Like,
Absolutely.
Am I really making love a priority? So that's why I'm here to give your listeners, the busy business people, the people that are out making magic for the world and their businesses. But at the end of the day, without love, whether it's marriage or, a committed relationship, or even closeness with your family, a lot of people just aren't taking the time for that these days. I mean, it's been proven scientifically and statistically, people aren't spending much time nurturing their relationships.
And they really should, huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, even looking at Ernie, I was speaking to him, and he's such a sweet man. We've known each other many years, and his heart is so huge, but he's there taking care of his family, and also a close friend that we mutually know that is going to be passing soon. And you just never know when it's your time to go. And in my book, Get Real About Love, there's a story of my very best friend who had passed because she was a workaholic on CNN. She was a health news reporter, and she kept saying, once I get this done, once this project's off the ground, the one-size syndrome. And that's what most busy people, if you're listening, you think, once my deal's closed, once my that big project I'm trying to build or whatever it is, and then suddenly a year goes by, 2 years goes by, and they go, oh my God, I'm lonely,
Yeah.
So that's why Valentine's Day kind of makes people reflect, with themselves.
Because everywhere you go, in every store, even the grocery store, there's red and pink hearts and candy and cards, and the flowers are all of a sudden everywhere because they know someone's going to come in and buy a bouquet. So you can't escape Valentine's Day. It's everywhere. It's on the TV. So what do we do if we don't have anybody?
Well, if you're like me, you have to think about getting to the store and getting a card or something before the 14th.
Darwin, the funniest thing is you always see, like last year I did this show. I didn't think it was with you guys, and I said, the day before Valentine's Day, the stores are mobbed with men, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'm glad we're doing the show earlier, because men wait off until the very last second, and then you get the crappiest cards and the dead flowers.
Dead flowers.
And then the wife knows that you were there at the grocery store picking up the crappy flowers, But it isn't about that. It's more about the connection and making, even if it's a small gesture, you don't have to make such a big deal out of Valentine's Day, but there's people that are single during Valentine's Day, the casual daters, and then people that are married. And I understand you guys have been married a long time.
A long time. Yes. We have.
So how many years? I want to hear your love story. Maybe
okay. Well,
some people here.
We were, why don't you talk about it, Suzanne?
Oh, I was hoping you could remember the date. No.
Okay.
We've been married about 26 years.
Yes.
But we knew each other about 5 or 6 years before that. We
Yes.
worked at the same radio station. Couldn't you tell?
Oh, my goodness.
And
My
then,
goodness.
Working together and just hanging out, and found that we had a lot of things in common, and we both have stupid senses of humor, so that
Yes.
worked out good too. And we've been working together all that time, both in radio and video and television. And now we're doing this podcast because we just like working together, and we fit together so perfectly. It doesn't seem like that long to me anyways. It seems like we just got married, so I guess we're doing something right.
Well, I think that when, a lot of people get rusty, or, the relationships get stale, and it sounds like, well, you guys have fun, you're having fun doing what you like. A lot of people
Absolutely.
I know, like in business, when my clients come to me that are newly divorced, or they're out there looking for love, like looking for that connection like you guys have. And I now have I call it a sacred and spicy marriage. But
Ooh, I like
myself am guilty of being a workaholic. And when I was dating, and I want all of you single people to listen to this, when you're a busy, successful person, often you're thinking, well, gosh, I'm at this level and I'm happy doing what I love to do. But if you don't carve out time for committing yourself like you do with work toward love, then you're going to end up not making an appointment with your heart. I call it making an appointment with your own heart, because you're always looking around thinking, God, I'd like to have somebody that could like really get who I am. And you guys do that, right? So you complement each other. My husband and I we're both busy people, but he's in healthcare and I'm in the love business. And I used to say to him, I have kind of a crazy schedule, and I don't want any, I love being with you. Like, we spend all of our spare time together, but
That's
he has
good.
his stuff, I have my stuff. But people always would say, how are you ever going to find anybody because you're so busy? And it was true. I ran the first speed dating company in America. I watched thousands and thousands of successful, busy people coming for a 5-minute date and thinking that they were going to like hook up in a minute, right?
No, it doesn't take a
Not
minute.
about that. It's not about that. And if you talk about your story, you guys were actually friends, and you kind of built a foundation first to get to know each other.
Yeah.
Then you realized, oh my God, I think, and you saw his great qualities and his humor and his cute smile, and you grew to grow. You grew a strong friendship and trust.
Absolutely.
Right?
And it takes a long time. It takes a big investment of time and effort. But I think it's worth it. To me, it's like building a house. You got to have a really good foundation if you want 3 or 4 stories on top of it. So,
Well, and for me, before I met her, I just came out of a relationship that just was nightmare almost. And I pretty much, when we met, I was pretty much saying I'm done with relationships before I met Suzanne. Just, it's okay. I'll just get into work and, leave it at that. But it didn't happen that way. We just hit it off, and we just hung out and became best friends. And after we were married, we didn't really stop that best friend relationship. It just continued on, and it kind of grew through the good times and the hard times.
Yeah. Well, you brought up a subject that is pertinent for my business, because most people call me when they're in the middle of a really tumultuous nightmare, right? They had a nightmare boyfriend or woman that they dated for years. And my own husband was married twice before. My story, if anybody wants to get a story that is almost like the impossible love story that happened to me, which I thought, God, here I am in the love business. I got married when I was 45 years old. Okay. So many busy, successful people have blocks to love because of the way they were wired in their family lineage and role models. Right?
Oh, really?
So, it's fascinating. Because I've done this for 29 years, I started coaching busy businessmen that were divorced, like you, Darwin.
Yeah.
Came into a room learning how to pick up girls, right? So I was the teacher to teach men how to get ready, and I used to call it the Love Tuneup class.
Oh
for
my
men.
gosh.
In my first book, Love Mechanics,
Yeah.
was the tune-up tools to build successful relationships with women. Now, you guys are in the age group. I don't know how old you are. Are you over 50? I guess I would imagine.
Yeah.
So any man that's over 50 and women that's, maybe you're 4 or 5 years younger than him, I don't know, Suzanne, but most of the guys were learning love skills based on their parents, right?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep.
And so now, like right now, people are not used to the fast-paced way that people are meeting through Tinder, dating apps, quick.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking for a quickie, a quick fix, a quick a match. Now the people, so it was so fascinating because I worked with people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s at Rapid Dating, and I got to teach classes to all these different age groups. So the first question I'm asking your audience and even my clients, who were the role models that you saw to have great relationships? So, maybe you, Darwin, I don't know what you saw in your family, or the woman that you married. So if you don't identify the love lineage patterns of a family before you get involved, then often it comes up when you marry somebody because you're marrying a family, right? You're marrying the habits of that family, that woman's family, alcoholism or divorce or, whatever is in the past of the grandparents, the parents, and the way a person's brought up. So when I start working with people, and even myself, I had divorced. My great-grandmothers were left by their husbands, my grandmother, all my great-aunts, some of my mother's sisters. So I was wired to believe that love would hurt you
and it wouldn't last.
Leave you, okay?
Yeah.
So I did not want to let my heart be open, but then I had one, so this is super important for all the business people. One part of them wants it, like Darwin probably still wanted love. Then the other part of him was going, screw that, I just went through hell. Yeah. I don't want to go through hell again.
Yeah.
No.
And then lovely Suzanne comes into the picture and becomes friends, right? And he got to know your soul, your heart, your humor, your friends, without the pressure, right, of are we going to get married? No, people want to know, like when people, they call me, they're like, I met a guy and I think he's the one. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you know about him?
Yeah.
Well, he has a good job and he says that he's ready. And I go, okay, well, wait. What about his love lineage? And they're like, what is that?
What is that? Yeah.
What is that? Exactly.
What is that?
Yeah, I know.
So it's really, really vital that you find out about how someone was wired for success in business. And then, like I said on my last show, when your relationships are screwed up, it often affects your business bottom line.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're going to take a quick break.
Oh, is it time already?
It's time already. Boy, that went fast.
I know, because we were talking about people with a love history.
Yeah, you got it.
Everybody wants to talk about it.
Maybe when we come back, maybe we'll continue the love lineage with Renee Piane. And everyone, you're listening to Mind the Business Radio, and we'll be back right after this. Thank you for listening, everybody. And join us on our website at www.mtbradio.net and give us your email. You never know. You could win something, a book, and also get our new newsletter coming out very soon. Now, back to the show. All right, everybody, welcome back to Mind the Business. I'm Darwin.
And I'm Suzanne.
And we were talking to Renee Piane, and we're talking about love lineage.
Yes.
And one of the things I wanted to mention about my personal life is I didn't see a whole lot of closeness, kissing or hugging between my parents or anything. So when I, decided to break out into the world of love, that I had no clue. Absolutely no clue, and I went through, like your husband, I went through a couple of relationships that just talk about dual nightmares, so and it wasn't until I just decided I'm done, and I kind of gave it up and said, you know what, God, it's up to you, and that
was a good option.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then, like I said, I met Suzanne and, same career and same interest and, and she was really awesome then and she's even more awesomer now.
Awesomer? That's not a word, sorry.
I know. Well, you know what I mean. Right.
But Renee, you've talked to thousands of people, like you were saying. Can you share with us a story of someone who really had a hard time?
Well, almost every day I get stories of sadness, loneliness. But one of the most fascinating stories and actually happy endings was with a gentleman that called me that wrote, "Dear Renee, I read something about loneliness and I'm getting ready to kill myself. And when I heard you on a radio show, I thought maybe you could help me." And I just remember waking up, like everybody does, to check their emails.
Yeah.
And there it was. Now, he was a Muslim gentleman. Now, this goes back to the lineage of families and cultures, right?
Oh, yeah, culture.
I was in Los Angeles. I work with Persians, Muslims, all different cultures, Latins, Chinese, So each culture dates differently. And in the Muslim countries, they have to be fixed up with families that are equally as rich, or in the same economic level. Well, this gentleman was living in Jordan, but there was a war there, so his parents sent him to Algeria. So in Algeria, he couldn't date any of the women because their families wouldn't let their daughters move back to Jordan. And in Jordan, the women's families wouldn't let him marry because he was working in Algeria. So he was he couldn't do anything. So he felt helpless. And depressed, and he was eating, and he was obese, and it was a bad case. It was probably like the most difficult challenge that I ever had, but I built his confidence, and I helped him to communicate to his parents that he may be someone in his love lineage that might not do the tradition, okay, that would not do the tradition. Now, his father was forced to marry a woman he didn't love, so I got on the Skype with his father. Now this whole year that I coached him, he lost almost 100 pounds.
Oh my!
He gained his confidence. He had never been with a woman before. He did not know how to talk or communicate or flirt with a woman.
Oh yeah.
So I taught him all sorts of skills and built his confidence. And when he went back to Jordan, his father gets on Skype with me. He was there for the holidays. He goes, "What did you do to my son?"
He's
a completely different man, And I said, "Well, I've been teaching him how to grow up. All he's done has been an engineer. He was always tucked away in school.
Sure. Yeah. Isolated.
And he was isolated. So many people are very isolated. So if you're isolated now, you have an opportunity to reach out not only to coaches, but to learn things online. But back in the day, like when, you were dating and even me, there wasn't anything. So when I started my business, it was very difficult. Like marketing for this was all by flyers, right? So basically, this man ended up meeting a woman in Algeria who was not at his economic level. He fell madly in love with her.
Oh, good.
And he had to get his parents to accept someone that wasn't as rich as they were. So he did marry her. He has 2 children now. He's a completely different man. But it took someone to believe in him.
Yeah.
His parents were very critical. Condescending, because it was all about education and money instead of love.
Yeah.
And then he saw that his mother and father really weren't in love. His sisters have all been messed up as well from not seeing good role modeling. So if you don't have good role modeling in your own family, which half of the world doesn't because their parents are divorced and they see the pain and the anguish from the separation, right? Even your own separation, Darwin. I don't know if you have children, but sometimes the children see it and they think, oh, God, love sucks, right? So all around the world, China, in India, all of the young many of the Indians aren't doing the cultural thing, and it's very difficult. So it's a whole new movement in the love movement, and I'm a part of it. So I am so excited about it.
Take the flag and run with it.
I'm just trying to help people to see that if you are going to choose love, you have to make it something very sacred and really take your time to get to know the real, no one's perfect. We all have imprints from our families of damage or whatever. I had a lot of them. And if I can change mine, and that's what my book is, I revealed all of my things that I had to overcome, seeing cheating, infidelity, and then I would choose men that were unfaithful. And then finally I thought, gosh, this is a part of me.
Yeah.
So I had a stronger part of me that doubted love, like you did, Darwin, and like thousands of people do. So if anyone out there is a busy workaholic person and you're doubting love, a lot of it is a reflection that you need to do inside of yourself, heal the love lineage, because our parents that were older only had what they saw from their grandparents that didn't get any education like we have available to us now.
Well, it's a whole different world that we're living in now.
Yes.
And, if my parents were still around, I doubt if they would even understand it, what's going on with all the social media and all the ways that people can connect with each other without even having to leave, their house and video calls and, the very thing we're doing right now via Skype.
Well, a lot of people, the good news is, everybody out there, like people that are over 50, they call me and they're like, I don't want to do all this crap. I don't want to do it. and so I'm like, okay, well, I'm older too. I met somebody from my past. Okay. So yesterday I called a friend to help my friend that's dying of cancer. And it turns out I called an office of a friend, and the secretary answered. And this is the coolest thing. She goes, what do you do, and how do you know this friend? And I was trying to get some help for my friend. And I said, and she goes, well, I have a great love story. So here it is. It's a great story if you want me to inspire. And I don't know if we have enough time in this segment, but...
Well, we have about 30 minute 30.
I'm going to have to do it on the next time.
You're going to have to do it on the flip-flop.
I have some inspirational stories for people that are over 50 so that you do not give up on love.
Okay.
Yeah, never give up on love.
That's what I say.
Yes. I tell everybody that, and a lot of people ask us, why are you and Suzanne are always so happy? And I go, well, it's work.
But I choose to be happy.
I choose to be happy. Yeah.
It's also a choice.
Yeah.
And I make love important where I probably shouldn't. But in the end, only love matters.
That's right.
I agree. That's my whole philosophy of my life.
All right. Well, we're going to take another break.
Yeah, we'll take a break. We'll come back with Renee.
And, we're going to have to take a break from love, but we'll come back to love
right after
this commercial. You're listening to Mind of Business Radio. Thank you for listening, everybody. And join us on our website at www.mtbradio.net and give us your email. You never know. You could win something, a book, and also get our new newsletter coming out very soon. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to this edition of Mind the Business. I'm Suzanne.
I'm Darwin.
And we're talking today to Renee Piane, who is the love expert. She has written a book. It's called, if I get my paperwork here, Get Real About Love. My goodness. And that's the whole point of today's story. We're going to get real about love, and we're going to tell you how to find love if you've lost it or if you don't know how to get it. And Renee has some really cool stories. But before we do that, I want to say hello to our friends in Australia today. So thank you for listening down there to Mind the Business.
Yes.
But Renee, tell us that heartwarming story that you just heard yesterday.
Well, it was really cool because I've been, one of the things I'm going to be doing this whole week, even on my Facebook, if anybody wants to connect with me, Renee Piane, I did a love Tuneup call there, and I had a lot of tips on flirting and how to meet, but people over 50 just are freaked out. Like, they don't know how to do all the, so if you are over 50, you can meet people very easily if you just get into a little bit of technology, and I can help you write profiles and put things up about yourself. And people don't know how to compose things that make people connect. Well, anyway, this woman that I called on the phone that I was talking to before the break, she said that she went on Facebook, and she doesn't like social media or anything, but she put her maiden name on Facebook because she was divorced.
Okay.
She was in an unhappy, crappy marriage. She finally got divorced, and one of her friends said, you should go on Facebook to connect with old friends. So it turns out, because of her maiden name, her high school girlfriend, her best friend, they were both friends with two men that they dated during high school, and she broke up with them when she was 19. So her girlfriend found her on Facebook, called her, and said, oh my God, your old high school boyfriend, Brian, is still single.
Oh my.
And she said, and when we were with him last night, he asked me if I had seen you, and I looked you up, and there you were on Facebook.
Oh.
So they connected, and she said, would you like to have dinner with me and Steve, who she was still dating, right, from high school? And I'm going to invite him. Well, they ended up seeing each other. They hadn't seen each other in, I guess, 30 years.
Oh, my.
And they met, and they instantly felt the magic that they had felt. And he had been so hurt from her hurting him back when he was 20 years old, that his heart never let anybody in. He was still in love with her.
Oh.
So they ended up getting married, and it turned out that her husband that she had divorced from was so inspired by her meeting her former boyfriend from high school that he called his old girlfriend from high school.
Oh, my.
Ended up marrying his old girlfriend from high school, and they used to hate each other, right? So she says, and now our kids, who were all screwed up from the sadness, my husband called them and said, let's get together with Mom for Christmas. So for the last 2 holidays, they've spent every holiday with their kids and their new husbands and wives, and now the kids believe in love again, and everybody's happy.
What a great story.
Isn't that a great story?
That's just like rainbows and hearts everywhere. I love it.
It was like, I said to her, you are giving me such an inspirational story. So in my book, I have lots of inspirational stories of people in all age groups. I had a 73-year-old woman that did a vision board, and she said, who's going to want me? I'm old and wrinkled. And I said, you're beautiful. Anyway, she put a picture of Jeff Bridges. She goes, I have to have a man that still wants to dance and has a full head of hair and is still into sex. Well, she ended up meeting her husband in an odd way from a church thing, and they ended up getting married. They've been together. She was, I guess, 64 when she met him. It's been 10 years now.
Oh, good for her.
Whenever she meets me, she goes, it's all your fault. You made me vision. And he looks exactly like Jeff Bridges. My aunt married someone from her past that she met at an Italian-American club. They hadn't seen each other in 40 years, and they got married. She had lost her husband. So love is possible anytime, anywhere.
Your heart never forgets, does it?
You're never too old.
No, so please get out this week, okay? Even if you're alone, you have to get off your phone. If you're a younger person, you need to get off your phone and go to networking events. You need to flirt in the grocery store. You need to start changing your patterns. If you work all the time, to get up and go out to lunch. Within a mile from your own home could be the next person. But if you don't say good morning, people are afraid to flirt anymore because of the Me Too movement. It is so bad. It's been tragic with this last couple years of all this tragedy on the news about men being harassing women. But if people don't communicate live, so you should be going to things in your local community. There's something going on in your community. There's art gallery openings, charities. Go and give back. Get involved with people that need help. And where there's other people.
Volunteer.
In communities. And I'm a really big community connector. And within anybody's community, in your community, you need to look up people like me that have social events, that have singles events. And yes, maybe there'll be nerdy people there. And if you go there judgmental and thinking you're above everyone else, just go in with an openness and be kind. Be kind to people. You know, and if you're alone on Valentine's Day, what I used to do was create a love club. I'd invite single friends of mine to bring a single friend of the opposite sex, and we would usually have 20 people, 10 men, 10 women. We'd all bring a gift. We'd go to dinner, and we'd all sometimes hook up with other people's friends, and or we would at least get a gift, have some camaraderie. We would all talk about what we were looking for, and you need to let people know that you're single. A lot of people think, oh God, I don't want to tell anybody I'm single. Well, people are matchmakers. If you're happy about being single and say, listen, I want to meet somebody, instead of going, dating sucks. Dating can be really fun. So if anybody out there wants to learn how to, spice it up, go to my Facebook and watch my hilarious Love Tuneup thing that I did the other day. People thought I was out of my mind. But I gave them a lot of great tips, and it's time to wake up your love life. This is Valentine's Day, so don't be alone. Go make some magic happen.
It's like the worst day to be alone, right?
Well, I used to have fun on Valentine's Day. I would go.
It sounds like you knew what to do.
I'm just an open person. If your heart isn't open and you have still somebody hurt, that has hurt you, you should read my book, get over it, start to create a new vision. Call me for a free consultation. Anybody out there can call me for a free 20-minute consultation. Just go to my site and write to me and say, I heard you on the radio. buy my book, Get Real About Love. It's like less than $20, and I can guarantee you it'll make you look at your role models and how you've been wired negatively. You need to change the wiring. You need to change the wiring.
Yeah.
And love is, everybody just is like so picky about it. It's you know, everybody's like, I have to have this.
Oh yeah.
And, if I had not let my husband lived 3,000 miles away. He was going through a divorce, and he had been married twice.
Yeah.
Everybody was warning me not to go there. He's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Yep.
Yes.
But he had that same thing like you did, Darwin. I'm done.
I'm done. Yeah. I was done. And the next thing I knew, there was Suzanne.
There's never done, people. Come on.
No.
I love the story about the little 64-year-old lady who's been happily married for 10 years, because why shouldn't she? Why shouldn't she find somebody that she can be happy with?
You know.
And her husband's probably happy too, right?
They are the cutest. They are like one of those couples that you see, like they're like, you go, are you guys still on your honeymoon?
Yeah.
Or do they still hold hands?
Like you too. Like I'm so grateful. Like when people meet me and Joe. So this is one of my other tips. When people see you and Suzanne, Darwin,
yes.
they go, how did you find this, right? So people out there, if you see a couple that has that sparkle, right, that's still that magic, which I feel like I still have with my husband. I love him. We get married every year. I teach people how to spice up their marriage too. You gotta take action.
Yes.
You know? And so when you see a couple like that, go up to them and say, I am so inspired by what I see. Like, you guys look happy.
Yeah, what did you do?
How did you meet? How did you do this?
Yeah.
How did it happen? You know? And I have some of the most inspiring love stories, and I'm actually, since I'm all dressed up, I'm going to go on Facebook right after this and tell a few of them.
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
And I thank you for people, flirt with life, go out and don't talk negatively about love. Stop reprogram the way you think. Say anything is possible. I have a whole chapter on your love language. Like, change your languaging. Change your prayers. Instead of going, oh God, I can't find anybody. Say, God, like you did, I surrender. Send me the right person for me.
Well, that's
I'm a
what
great
I did.
person.
Yeah.
And it really is surrendering. And I think it really is also dropping that list of preconceived things that you think you have to have in a partner, because I think that limits you.
It does.
There's unlimited possibilities for you if your heart is open. So when people work with me, if you buy my book on Amazon, please email me, because I'll send you vows. You have to vow that you're going to be open with yourself to look at how you have stopped yourself from finding love. And if you are in love, look at how you would like to like spice it up. What could you do today? Dress up. Get me and my husband sometimes meet out, and he picks me up like I'm like date night. Never met. Go on a date with him. Or meet him somewhere and plan something fun.
It works.
It doesn't have to be expensive.
No,
it doesn't have to be expensive.
No, it doesn't. Anyway, cool. We are going to take. I hate to do this again.
Oh, again?
I know.
Oh, there's that red light. Yeah, I'm sorry.
There's that red light. We got to take another break, and then we'll be back with Renee Piane and keep talking more about love.
Love, yes.
Right here on Mind the Business. Thank you for listening, everybody, and join us on our website at www.mtbradio.net and give us your email. You never know. You could win something, a book, and also get our new newsletter coming out very soon. Now, back to the show. Welcome back, everybody, to Mind the Business. I'm Darwin.
And I'm Suzanne.
And, I can tell everybody that I met Suzanne in a radio station, which is probably very uncommon for everybody. You're not going to go to a radio station to meet someone, but
you might meet someone where you work.
You might.
Renee, is that true?
That's true. You could.
Well,
and
in the world of the Me Too thing, everybody's like scared to date people at work. But I think that if there is commonality, and even if it's a rule at your company, you have to watch out for that, because some people aren't allowed to date people that they work with.
Oh,
but
that's true.
Okay. I think there's a lot of opportunities. I was going to give you some tips.
Yeah. So where are some good places?
Well, this next couple of weeks, there are so many events. People should go to Meetup. There's Meetup events. There are social things. You can go on Eventbrite and look in your area to see where social activities, or just look up online, events, social events, networking events, women's now men. There's an organization that I belong to called eWomen Network. There's a lot of networks that women, like if men always say, I don't know where to go to meet powerful, beautiful women that are successful. Well, hello, there's all sorts of women networking.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
Also, the Chamber of Commerce is all over the country, right?
Yeah.
So when I first moved to Los Angeles, I joined the Chamber of Commerce. But before you join, you can go to three different or four different locations within a city to try the different areas. So I went to Brentwood, Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, and I found who I was vibing with the most, like which group was in my age range and group. But these are all people that are married and single, that are business people looking for networking. But that doesn't mean that there's aren't other fabulous single people there. Okay, there's organizations everywhere that have singles parties or just cocktail mixers for social networking. There's a lot of that happening now, and I host them sometimes in Los Angeles. You should also take flirting classes. If you're not good at flirting. Now, if you do get invited, or you're into, want to go to singles events, you can call the organizer like me. I used to have people call me and said, can I volunteer at the front desk to help people sign in? So the people that signed people in got to know everybody
in the room. Yeah.
So you could volunteer at charity events, art gallery openings, book signings, be active, get yourself out there. Go to, the Special Olympics. I interviewed hundreds of organizations about charities that people could give back. So look up whether it's old people or feeding the homeless. You could get involved in a charity where once a month there's an event. If you are a biker or a athlete, you can volunteer to sign in at running, these marathons.
Sure.
You can meet so many people just by giving.
There's a lot of really good-looking men.
And get the love,
There's a lot of really good-looking men if you hang out at the Habitat for Humanity sites, ladies.
I know. I know. And they all go to volunteer, and they're wearing their little tool belts.
And, a lot of them are not married.
Well,
there
you know
go.
what? There could be I've seen some pretty nice-looking women.
Construction women, too, yeah.
Construction women hanging out there, and they don't look bad in tool belts either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to volunteer at one of these things, become the photographer. Volunteer to take pictures, so you can walk with the people, and you can say, "Hi, I'm here helping Renee, and I'm taking pictures. Your picture? What's your name? Let me have your business card." And I got to tell you, everybody that ever volunteers at my events, they call me like, "Can I come back?" I've never met so many nice people. So get out there. Yeah. Get out there. Also, the other thing is when you go in the kitchen. Now, I'm Italian. I always end up in the kitchen when people have house parties. Yeah. And I always get to meet everybody because they, if you have a potluck thing and people bring dishes, go, hey, who's the handsome guy bringing the spaghetti, Yeah. So it's really important for you to put yourself out there and stop doing what you're always doing. Yes. And call somebody like me to spark you up, Go out and, even if you're doing online dating, let me take a look at your profile to see how you're marketing yourself. Take a look at your dating wardrobe. Get spruced up. That's what I do. I have a guy flying in. I have men that fly in from all over the country to come and work with me for the day. And I get them photos. I get them new clothes, men and women. I redo their closets. Okay. But men, I always say, men, bring your most hottest clothes with you in your suitcase and your shoes, and let me see your dating wardrobe. They usually don't look so hot. So I literally, there was a gentleman that flew in, and I bought him a whole new wardrobe in one day, took pictures of him, and he's now getting married. I mean, he just said, I don't know what I would have done without you. He was
See, they don't have that skill.
Newly divorced. His wife, he went out on 3 dates, and these girls said to him, you look like an old grandpa in your clothes. Oh. And he heard me on a radio show, and he flew in, and I fixed that guy up, and then I took him to a happy hour. So that's the other thing. Happy hours all over town. Okay. Men go out alone, ladies, at happy hours. And if you go to my Facebook, you can see my famous flirting technique. I used to sit at bars at really fun places and meet. I would go the same night every week, and I knew all the bartenders, so I felt safe. And if I saw a cute guy that I liked, I would sit at the bar alone, and I would. And men would, come up and say hi. And I said, oh, I'm here. And they said, why are you here? I said, I'm here to meet a friend. Well, I wasn't meeting a friend. I was waiting to meet people because I knew no one.
Yeah.
And then I'd see a cute guy, and the guy would be bugging me, and I'd say, there he is. And I'd walk over to a stranger, and I would say, good evening. My name is Renee, and there's a gentleman bothering me at the bar. And I told him that I was meeting a friend. So will you be my friend?
That's awesome.
How I met men.
Yeah.
It worked.
It works. Yeah.
It really was fun.
Because they wanted to rescue you. I love it.
Men love to rescue. They do. They do.
Gosh.
See? And those are the things that folks unfortunately don't remember, because we're busy and we have other things jamming up our brain. But get out there and flirt and network and volunteer and do all kinds of things because we don't want you to be alone. Okay.
And if you're run a business and you're an entrepreneur, I know how you can get wrapped up into your business and that becomes number one in your life. But you know what?
That's right.
Put that back on the back burner.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
And don't take your business everywhere you go. Go out and meet people.
Well, that's one. Let me give you this one thing. When people go out and they're successful on dates, when I was running the events, people would sit down and say, yeah, I work all the time. I'm building this. I'm doing that. Especially guys. They like to tell all the stuff they're doing. And the women are like, you don't even have any time for love.
Yeah.
Next. So watch what you're saying. Watch what you're praying. Watch what you're saying to other people about yourself.
Yes.
Because the first impression is the lasting one. So what you're wearing, how you come across, the energy vibe. So all of this is in my book. What phase of love you're in, because people say, so where are you in the dating game? Oh, I just broke up with my girlfriend. They're like, uh-oh, I don't want a project.
I don't want a project.
I don't want a project. And people, when they call me and I coach, I have a 90-minute coaching thing, and I tape record them. And then I send the recording back, and I ask them a lot of questions.
So they can hear their voice.
They're like, God, I sound like a drone. They don't even realize how negative they are because they're sad.
Yes.
And so you can be the most powerful businessman or the most dynamic businesswoman, but we all have little boys and little girls inside of us that want love. So unless both of you are going in one direction, and if you have a broken heart or disappointment from somebody that hurt you, usually it's because you're too busy and you're not putting the effort in. So a lot of people will leave you because you're busy. And the only reason I know that is because men told me they thought I was adorable, they thought I was fun, but I didn't have time for love, and they weren't interested.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
But they were truthful.
Before. This was before I changed.
Yeah.
I was a workaholic, and I used to push people away, and I tell my tale of how I changed and transformed my messaging because people were not interested in me. So I help people to look at the parts of themselves, because if you have one part of you that thinks you're going to have love and the other part that's fighting you because you've had disappointments,
that's
usually
not
it's the way you're coming across and you don't even know it.
Exactly.
So my book, Get Real About Love, will help you look and do an examination of yourself and how you've had patterns that kept you in a love loop, and you keep getting the same thing over and over. So I'm only here to tell you what I had to do to myself, and my family's like, holy tamale, you told everybody, your stuff. And I said, if I can admit that I healed it, then I can heal thousands and thousands. And I have done that.
Physician, heal thyself. There you go.
Heal thyself and take a look at yourself. Would you want to marry you with the frenetic schedule, always on the phone, always running? Nobody wants that. They want somebody that has time. And then time goes by, So I have to say this. I almost died a few years ago of a tumor. And when that happened, I started to really take time to look at life and how precious each and every moment is. So tell the people that you love them. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm going to change out my patterns this year. I'm going to do something different. And if you need help, I'm here. You can call me for a free consultation to see how I might be able to snap you out of it. or just read my book, because it's a wake-up call that most people, when they read it, they're like, it was like reading my life, listening to your story.
Wow.
Well, we're going to take a break. I'm sorry, it's time.
Yes.
And when we come back, we can ask Renee how you can acquire that book, because it's an important thing to have. So we'll be right back right after this.
Thank you for listening, everybody. And join us on our website at www.mtbradio.net and give us your email. You never know. You could win something, a book, and also get our new newsletter coming out very soon. Now, back to the show. All right, everybody, welcome back to Mind the Business. I'm Darwin.
And I'm Suzanne.
And we're
learning about love today.
Oh, man. With Renee, we're looking for love in all the right places.
Yes, we are.
I thought you're welcome. You
were so inspirational, Renee.
Yeah, just listening to you and the way you present yourself and stuff. I mean, I'm just glued here, picking up all this. I can understand why people go to you, because you've just really got a great heart, and you really show an honest, true love.
Yes, I love your honesty.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I think that's why I named my book Get Real, because people are so afraid to look at the underbelly of their fear, of love. And when they have a chance to, like, people that call me, they want to confide in someone, but they don't want to tell their business associates that they're having a problem.
No,
exactly.
They're not going to tell their buddies or their, especially men. Men are super sensitive, and they trust me with their heart. So when people call me, I would love to invite anybody to call me. It might take me a little time to get back to you, or email me at Renee Piane, and I'll give you, say, where are you at? What do you need? And give you some advice. And then if you want to work with me, I will. And I do have a 90-minute coaching session. And I told people, if you call me and say that you've heard me, I'll give you $100 off the first session. But I need you to email me, because I had to adjust it on the website. But people who are really serious, you need mentors that have gone through what you're going through. And this is it's kind of a ministry for me, really. It
really is. Yeah.
It's really my it's my passion, because I see pain everywhere, and I do get tired sometimes because people don't want to do the work. Like, you have to do a little inner reflection. I mean, people will spend thousands of dollars to learn how to do golf. Like, men would spend more on a computer than they will on looking at their patterns with love. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I started out working mainly with men. And then once I learned how sensitive men are, I had to tell the women to be more open to men, to let men know that you're interested, because men don't know.
No.
They haven't had a book to tell them the Prince training that you think that they learned.
We don't read minds.
They don't read minds. So once you learn the secrets into the minds of men, I teach a lot of that in my book, and I have a lot of wisdom about it, because I've done this for 29 years. I was one of the first people to do speed dating. I'm here to help people get real about love. So you can get my book on Amazon.com, in Kindle, in audio. So if you buy the book and you have audible.com, you'll get the audio for free, I believe. And call me. I'm not, I have to schedule it in, but I'm here to help people to wake themselves up. And the least you could do is, connect with me on LinkedIn and Facebook. Let me know. And I'm going to start doing weekly live love talks, and people can send in their questions. I'm building some groups and things like that. And I speak all over. And if anybody has a conference that you need a great speaker to teach you how to balance the art of love, life, family, and business, I'd love to come and speak. I'm just here on a quest to wake people up and actually to keep my marriage sacred and spicy. This year, was a crazy year for me, and life to me is so precious, and you have to take time for the most important decision you'll ever make, and love makes life so much richer.
It does. It's
so much richer. And so Valentine's Day, make a vow to your heart. Go out to a store, buy yourself a heart. I make every one of my clients, if you meet me personally, I give you a heart, I give you vows. And so if you buy the book, email me and let me know you bought it, and I will send you the vows via email. So you can vow that you're going to be honest with yourself, that you're going to get role models to help you, you're going to change your languaging, and you're going to take time for love this year.
Please,
so I hope
yes.
that this inspires you to
Yes.
get real about love. The book's less than $20, and it's like a process. It's like
a
what
little
I take.
tiny investment, kids.
It's not a
You
big
know?
investment.
Yeah.
But my coaching is, very personal. So I'm a very one-on-one person, and I work with high-powered businessmen that are very private. I do a lot of personal matchmaking. I often will help you find people, but I have to be working with you to know what your vision is and who you are. I don't like to just take on people that aren't really serious.
Yeah.
So if you're serious, folks, Renee's book is called Get Real About Love, because it's time to live a happy, passionate, and love-filled life.
That's right.
Amen. Again, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, they can reach me at www.reneepiane.com. That's reneepiane.com, or you can put in you can put in Get Real About Love on Amazon. You're going to see blogs and emails, and you can get a hold of me very easily. You can look up The Love Designer, Get Real About Love. I'm all over the internet. I have lots of free advice online. I have a lot of my testimonials, my love stories there. I hope that even just this will spark your heart. And this Valentine's Day, go by your heart to remind you, if you're not taking good care of yourself, the way you treat yourself, if you're mad at yourself or hurt, you're going to attract people that are unavailable. So you want to heal your heart, open your heart. So buy yourself a little heart. I know guys go, oh God, that's so queer. But it's not. To remind you to take care of your heart, because nobody else is going to.
No.
And go out and put yourself out there, and let me help you to do that. Let me help you market and brand yourself well in the love market. And I've had thousands of success stories, and you can read some of them on my website. And I hope that even reading my story will inspire you, that even 3,000 miles away, I made love work. And I have a super successful marriage, and I hope that I could become a role model for busy people that can make love work.
Yes.
So, happy Valentine's.
Yes,
Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you, everybody.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And I hope to hear from you. You can always call my office at 310-827-1100, and even on Skype. I do Skype interviews from all over the world.
All right.
So I can work with you, from anywhere. So it doesn't have to be, live if you don't want to. But
You're busy.
She's got a lot of people to help.
Darwin, before I live in Vegas part-time too. So if anyone lives in Vegas, and I'm in Los Angeles. So if anybody lives here or comes here for business, you can meet me here. And I also work with an international company that matches men around the world.
Oh, okay.
So I have lots of tools in my toolbox.
All right.
Doesn't she, though? My gosh.
Well, thank you for being on the show, Renee.
Yes,
this has been a
thank you,
blast.
Renee. This has been a great show. And my quote for today is, you never find yourself until you face the truth. That's from a lovely lady named Pearl Bailey. You might have remembered that. But yes, look yourself in the mirror, ask yourself how important love is to you, and then if you haven't got any, boy, we had the lady on the show today that can help you find it. Call Renee. Because love is really the only thing to get.
All right. And everybody, you've been listening to Mind of Business Radio, and I'm Darwin.
And I'm Suzanne.
And we have just had a wonderful talk with Renee Piane. And thank you, everybody, for listening. And until next time, take care. Mind the Business Radio was produced in association with Taylor Pacific Video. Copyright 2018.